Hi guys, my name is Tau Makano from UNISA from the College of Economic Management Sciences. And as you guys have been joining us over the past couple of weeks, we are in partnership with Express Employment Professionals. And this week, yet again, we've got Tinswalo on the line. Thank you so much for joining us again this week, Tinswalo. We're looking
Thanks for
forward, as always. No, the pleasure's all ours. The pleasure's all ours. So this week we are tackling the topic of community involvement, right? So what is community involvement? What is it all about? Please enlighten us again on this topic.
Okay, great. So community involvement, it's all about finding opportunities around you to serve. It'll be for free most of the time, sometimes not, but it's mainly about service. And while you're doing that, you are gaining a lot of skills. You guys will remember that last time we spoke about transferable skills. This is where you get them. This is where you build your critical thinking skills, your creativity, your emotional intelligence, your people management, decision making, cognitive thinking, or flexibility rather, your ability to think about multiple concepts at the same time. That's where you build up all these skills. And of course, in your community, there's people, and we all know where there's people, there's challenges. So how you are able to handle situations through your community involvement, your resilience, it'll say a lot about your character, especially when you're not getting paid to do the job.
So what can I learn by actually volunteering in my community?
So there's so much you can learn. I'll just go back to how, number one, you can even learn. So we spoke about these transferable skills that you can acquire, but how can you actually even get those skills, right? So if you think about it, is there a school around you? Is there a church around you? Is there local businesses around you? There's hair salons, there's supermarkets, there's plenty of businesses around you. So I will actually just give you some ideas of how you can, volunteer so you can learn some valuable skills. Number one, if say you're a student and you've got a subject that you're really passionate about, that you love, and you know you can teach, just go to your local school or church, volunteer to teach, volunteer, collaborate with teachers, collaborate with the parents there and say, I can teach the subject. You can start a fundraising project, say to buy a soccer team uniform. And what is that going to help you learn? And what is it going to demonstrate? Number one, it's going to demonstrate that you're a trustworthy individual, right? You'll be dealing with money. Number two, it'll help you learn how to execute for results, because you're going to be planning a project from beginning till end, and the end result is, at the end of the day, we want to see the soccer team in uniform, right? That's just an example. You can also look for opportunities. So last week I gave an example about a marketing graduate who's unemployed or rather working as a receptionist. So if you really want to build your career, if you really want to build your career in as a marketing specialist, you can look at your local school around you or whatever it may be around you and say, okay, do they have a social media page? I know a lot of schools that don't have social media platforms, and you can start it up, volunteer to manage them, to grow them, so that when you go and apply for that type of job, you've got something to show, but you've taken initiative, you've created the opportunity for yourself. Another idea I'll give for free is to collaborate with your school to start an alumni department, right? Now, I know so many schools. I know in the schools that I've gone to in Soshanguve, I have never been contacted to be part of the alumni, to be part of projects with the alumni, to give back to the school. I've never had any of that. So that's an idea that I'm giving you guys. Think about that. What can you do? And also, strategically think about it. The people that you will be contacting, some of them are sitting in big companies as executives today. So while you're doing something great for your school, you are also building up your own network. And before you know it, you will have a better job than what you anticipate, because you demonstrated that you can do it, you know. Then there's another idea that you can take for free, which is companies are always looking for cases for support, particularly companies that have corporate social responsibility programs. You can be the one to approach those companies with potential projects and say, "Here, there is this school that needs this. There is this old age home in my community that needs this. There is this home for children, or crèche, whatever it may be. They need school clothes. They need food." Be the one to bring them in the forefront. And guess what you're doing? You are also interacting with your potential employers, but you're doing it in such a professional way, and they will probably give you advice along the way on how to do it. You're gonna learn what to do and what not to do without any penalties. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. Another thing you can do is, right now, for instance, we've got COVID-19 situation, people going to school, battling the idea of it. And here you are, you studied safety, occupational health and safety, and you don't know what to do. Why don't you volunteer to be the one to champion health and safety for the school, keeping records of everything, taking risk assessments, making sure that you give reports and recommendations with what you've observed in the school. You could be that person while adhering to safety precautions yourself. Find out if that's something you can do and go and do it. Don't waste any time. At the end of the day, when you do all of this, it is setting you apart. Is there a local supermarket next to you? Go and volunteer. You're going to learn about the business strategy. You're going to learn how retail operates. So if you're looking to work for a retail company one day, it's not a shock to your system how the business operates.
Sure. It sounds like, from what you're telling us, that initiative is the name of the game, right? People have to go out and take initiative. Wow, beautiful. But in terms of, the volunteering that we do, what kind of experiences should I be looking out for?
Yeah, that's again another interesting question, because, there's two ways to look at it. You can either look for an opportunity that is going to help you to build up the skill that you want to build, or if you've paved out your career, for instance, and in the next 5 years you want to say you want to be a data analyst. If you've paved up your career like that and you already know, then look for community work or create for yourself a project that will help you be set apart, right? So go for an opportunity that is going to help you apply the knowledge from school, which will in turn help you, get to the career path which you desire to take. Sometimes, though, it doesn't have to be exactly what you want to do. It could be just exposing yourself to the industry that you want to be in. For instance, say you want to be, silly example, say you want to be a medical doctor. Can you volunteer as a doctor? You're gonna kill people. You're not gonna give them life. So no. So exactly that. So that's a situation where you are more likely going to expose yourself to the industry. How do they operate? How do they handle patients? You just get exposed to the basics of basics, and it doesn't become a shock to your system. And the great thing with doing that is sometimes you'll actually find that what you thought was your passion is not even your passion. And you find that you have a chance to make a different decision earlier. So that's why there is so much value in doing community work, Doesn't matter if you're getting paid or not, but it helps you as much as it helps the community. So yeah.
Sure. Those are some great insights. Just one more question though. With the volunteering, does it help me become more attractive to employers?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I spoke right now about how the exposure alone to a specific industry sets you apart, mainly because you get to understand the business operations, you get to understand the business strategy as a whole. That alone sets you apart, because that means you have a head start. You know, we don't have to start by first explaining to you what we do, how we do it, why we do it. You get all of that. It's just now about making sure we refine your skill. So yeah, it sets you apart. You may not have done the job yourself, but your understanding of how the job is supposed to be done sets you apart. For me, for example, coming into the staffing industry, I had no clue about the staffing industry, but I did so much research that I understood what a recruiter does from A to Z. I understood how the recruitment industry works way more than a person who has never worked in it is supposed to know, to an extent where I remember in one of the interviews, there's a lady that said, she's too good to be true. I was like, her loss, it's fine. I was like, it's okay. But that's how much research I had done, you know, and it did set me apart. It did set me apart. So that's what you can do for yourself too. Go and find out what is it that the company does. Understand the business strategy. Understand how the business operates, how the organization works in order to achieve their goals. That alone will set you apart. Another thing is, we also can see that you're a person that is able to take initiative when you volunteer. You're able to take initiative, and also you have a heart to serve. But too many people, they just want to take, receive, but not give. Man, we need service-orientated people, and actually that skill in itself has been listed as one of the top 10 skills for 2020. So my friend, that's what you need today. That's what you need today. So go out there and get those opportunities for community service and start serving with your heart. That develops your leadership skills as well.
Wow, that's really insightful. Thank you so much. Yet again, you've dropped so many powerful nuggets for us this day, and we're really happy that we have you here for a few more weeks. Next week, we're tackling the topic of accomplishments. I'm looking forward to the great knowledge that you'll bring for us today. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tinsana. This was a really insightful session.
I'm so glad, Tavo. I'm also looking forward to it, and I'm looking to see all your comments and questions, to see what you guys think and what has been your experience. Where have we opened your eyes? That would be awesome.
Indeed. Remember to comment on all our videos, guys. We will be sure to answer all of your questions. And thank you once again for joining us. We'll definitely see you guys next week.